Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just an update on how the front pond's going. As you can see there, the fish are hiding in the corner. The reason for that is 5 on them have only been bought to date, because I've had an absolute disaster in the last fortnight. I replaced my jumper, the kajaku, that ended up in those flower beds there and died, so I decided to replace him, and I went out and I bought another fish, and a week later I noticed that it had got a little bit of fin rot. So I've been testing my water and one thing and another just to see what problems I had got. Decided then that I would treat this front pond. This is where my first mistake happened. My own fault. I knew how much water was in the pond. Decided that I'd treat it for fin rot. Got distracted just after I'd put it in. There weren't much in the bottle, but I got distracted and I put the bottle on here, unopened, and it was windy. Came back about an hour later, the bottle had blown over and gone in the pond. Realising what had happened, I decided what I better do, get the fish out straight away, not knowing how much had actually gone in, but there weren't a lot in the bottle, but started to panic a bit. Got the fish out. Took me about another 40 minutes before I'd got them out of the pond, and obviously drained the pond down a bit to try and dilute it. Next day, after filling it up again, putting the fish back in, all the little ones were dead, floating on top. The others were struggling, and I realised what had happened. I couldn't do anything about it, but I thought, after the granddaughter adopting these fish, saying how cute they were and everything, I must admit I tried to hide it from her by going out and getting some more fish. That was the plan. But I went out, I had water tests done at different places who'd got fish, including garden centres and dealers and one thing and another, so my water was alright, but they didn't match what they were telling me exactly. One had said something, and it was all same water, and they were telling me different things. So I did ask on Gaz's live on last Thursday, I think it was, which is the best test for water. Is it liquid or strips of paper? And as I thought, well, I did know anyway, but you ask these questions for people who don't know, and somebody actually sent back, if you've got a dealer who's using paper strips, change your dealer, which I agree with. Well, he's not my dealer, he's somebody else. But having tried to trick my granddaughter, if you like, I decided I'd buy 4 fish. So I went to a place where they sell smaller Japanese koi, and told them what had happened. When I got there, I'd looked in the tank and I'd said, some of your fish don't look right. They going into corners, they're lying down. And the lad I was talking to said, let me just have a look. And he got the net and pushed it in, and they all shot off from the corners, and obviously started swimming about. He says, I'll go and fetch somebody who knows more about it, because he's more tropical fish. So he came and convinced me that they'd only come in that day, and they were just stressed. I'm thinking they'd got sleeping sickness, but Anyway, he convinced me of that, and I told him what had happened with my fish, and he then said to me that I ought to, because I'd got the fin rot, I ought to do something with the water and everything, put this chemical in. It wasn't PP, but it was like crystals what you put in, can't remember the name of it, to clean everything out. Leave it about 4 days before I bought any fish. I'm just going to pause you there because nothing's happening here. We're going to look at fish on back. Right, so convinced me to do that, so I did that, and then I went back 3 or 4 days, 4 days later, and I decided I'd go and get some fish. Well, they looked all right. They all seemed to be swimming around a lot better in the tank we looked at, and we purchased 4 Japanese koi, about 10-12 centimetres, maybe a bit more, some of them. Took them back home. By the time I'd got them home, and they'd been in the back of the car for an hour or so, they weren't looking that good. Within 2 hours, some of them were in the corner of the pond, and you can guess what happened. The next day, them 2 are dead. So I rang the company up, told them that what had happened, and they decided. I says that I didn't think I was going back. They said, well, if you bring a water sample in, we'll replace the fish if it's those 2, whether it's their fault or not. They were going to replace the fish. So I says, I don't think I'm going to bother. I says, because to me they looked like they weren't very well anyway. But eventually, after about 3 hours of thinking about it, I decided to go back, and I walked into where the tank was, where the fish were in, and lo and behold, the bottom of the tank's got a load of salt in, and it hadn't dissolved by the time I got there. So whether they put it in just after I rang or whatever, I don't know, but did replace the 2 fish. I came back home, put them in the pond. I was going away for the weekend, doing a bit of golfing. Lo and behold, I come back, they're dead. And I'd got 1 fish left from the original batch that I actually purchased from Derbyshire Koi about 3 months before, and that was doing okay. So didn't know what to do, did another water test and everything, and I was getting the same results. Water seemed to be all right, but the different dealers and garden centres and whatever where I went with the water said there was a bit of an ammonia problem. Then one says it was nitrate, then one ran about chlorine. Did I want to buy a chlorine clearer? And I ended up purchasing some liquid what you put in to help with the chlorine, try and cut the chlorine down. So I know it's all my fault, because I left the bottle and killed the first lot, and I purchased the second lot when I shouldn't have done. So, and also I failed on the side where I was trying to not tell the granddaughter, because she was off sick one day and she came round and the fish weren't there. So I failed on all accounts there, but I should have used my own judgment, and this is for anybody who is starting up. Really look at the fish. If you think there's something wrong, don't buy them. And I've been buying fish for 30 years. I've never had this experience in a while, because I always trusted the dealers I went to. I've always bought the Japanese fish, but the little fish I bought from Derbyshire Koi were fine. I killed them, and I've been and bought some more today, because everything's temporary I'm doing at the minute. this pond and all the filtration and that's temporary, simply because if I do build another pond, I'm going to have to get new filtration and everything. I'm going to have to replace liners or fiberglass it or whatever. The front pond, I'm on about extending that, so that's temporary. But I'm learning because I'm more convinced now. I listen to people and I'm more convinced on what I need to do. Before it was just I'd got fishing pond, I looked after them, they live, that's it. So today I've been out and I've purchased a new pump, air pump, twice size of the other one. I've bought the same type simply because it is quiet. And with it being outside and near the bedroom windows, same as the front pond, I don't want too much noise because it can be irritating. I live in a quiet area mainly, so I don't want to disturb neighbours. But the filtration system in there still seems to be going okay. I did hear Vince say that it was told to turn it upside down, so I've had a go at that. It don't block up so easy if you do get any rubbish coming through. I'm assuming that's what it's all about. And I'm really happy that Crockett's still alive, but he does spend a lot of time on his own. But he has been eating, so I've had a bit of success there. And I'm not going to talk about any gardening or anything today. I think one of the problems I've got is if I go away golfing, I neglect my fish. So I don't see exactly what's happening, because I can be gone one day, I can be gone 3 days. But I can report on that side, the golfing. Me and my partner won my first tournament this year, Skegness Invitational, and to everybody who were there, most of them I've known for years. There's Crockett, by the way, swimming down there. Thanks for going into it, and I'm going to enjoy the pair of shoes that I won. But finally on this, I am going to keep trying to upgrade this pond, keep the fish as good as I can. I've put the pump in so I could have a fourth air ball there. So now I've got air underneath the shower unit there, and then I've got 3 more down this side, and then over that side I've got that return that blows water around the pond anyway and moves the food from underneath the automatic feeder, so they're not all in that corner. It does tend to come round here. I call this McDonald's, but yeah, I don't think I've got a lot more to say. Thank you for the people who have helped me, and thank you and good luck to everybody who's on the grow on with a difference. I've been watching the fish, I've watched different people, and I'm sorry to Phil and Craig of Strags Koi that I don't keep it as tidy as them, but I know they've got a bit of a fetish. So good luck everybody, and enjoy your koi keeping, and don't make the mistakes I've made. Thank you, bye bye.